Hello boys and girls, and welcome to the Grange Salute for summer 2020. I hope you can try and join in with some of the words and actions. I pledge to uphold the values of Grange, that every life matters, that my life matters. I will live and learn with confidence and consideration. Kindness is strength. I greet the day with a Grange salute. Good listening, kind hands, kind words, confidence and consideration. In these days of trouble, I greet the day with a selfie hug, a selfie high five, a message to the world, stronger together. Hello boys and girls, I hope you and your families are all well. I'd like to say thank you to Dario, Edward and Parthy for the lovely pictures you sent into the website. Dario, I can see that your beanstalks are growing very quickly, I think quicker than my ones. And Edward, beautiful printing. And Parthy, I'm glad you enjoyed growing the cress and eating your cress sandwiches. Well done. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we planted some beans. And I planted some in a flower pot in the soil and some I planted into a jam jar so that we could see how the roots and the shoots grow. So I think you can see that mine have started to grow pretty tall in the flower pot. And the ones in the jam jar are a little bit slower, but they're starting to grow as well. I thought we'd have a look at this book, Watch It Grow Bean by Barry Watts. Now this was our bean that we planted. It had a hard outside skin. And we planted it in the soil as well as in the jam jar. And in the soil, the moisture softened the skin and the skin split and out came a tiny root. And the root went up, 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 but then it turned and went down into the soil. Now in our flower pot, we couldn't see that, but in our jars, we can see how the roots went down into the soil, went downwards. And then a little seed leaf started to grow. And that went up towards the top. The leaves are folded down, and I think if you look at some, there they are still folded down because they don't want to get damaged as they grow. And the moisture collected helps them grow. They grow on a stalk that pushes up towards the surface, and then the leaves begin to open out. You can see some of these leaves are still opening out. As it grows, the plant uses the supply of food in the seed, and when it's fully grown, it will make its own food. So you can see that is what the root will look like in my flower pot. And the leaves, as they grow bigger, absorb sunlight, and the sunlight combined with the water from the roots makes food for the plant. And this is called photosynthesis. That's a big word, boys and girls. Maybe your big brothers and sisters know all about that. Maybe they've been learning about photosynthesis. If you look on the leaves of your plant, you can see the little veins that draw up the water through the plant. And the roots draw up the moisture and the nutrients from the soil. The more nutrients the seed gets, the quicker it will grow. So I think my beans must have got lots of nutrients from the soil, because they've certainly grown a lot quicker than the ones I had in my jar. The beanstalk grows upwards and it's thin and hollow, and it has a vein beneath the stalk, and these carry water and food around the leaves. In a few weeks' time now, we should start to see some flowers growing on the top of the plant, and as it gets taller, more flower buds will grow. And then the bees will come to visit and pollinate them. And after pollination, the flower begins to die. The petals start to wither and fall off and begin to grow seed pods. And there are our seed pods. The flowers that are not pollinated will not have any seed pods. And as it gets bigger, they grow, taking the food from the plant. And there they are there, the young beans. After being planted, it takes about 12 weeks until they are fully grown. And if you keep some of your seeds, then the following year you're able to plant them out again. Now, boys and girls, I think I need to start planting mine into a bigger pot, because they're growing so tall and they need some support to stop the stems breaking. I'll be back with you in a moment. Welcome back, boys and girls. As you can see now, as well as my small flower pot, I have got a big flower pot, because the roots need room to spread out and grow and draw up the nutrients in the soil, and the stems need to stretch up towards the sunlight, and they need support, which is why I have these bamboo canes in my pot. So I'm going to very carefully Can you see there, boys and girls, how the roots have gone through the bottom of my pot? They need more room, so I'm going to tease them out of the pot. And try not to damage the roots too much. There you go, boys and girls. Can you see all the roots? And it was getting quite root bound. That means they're getting all bound together really tightly, and they need to spread out. So I'm going to make a little hole there and try and separate some of the beans. Bit tricky because they're getting quite long, the stems. There we go. I'm going to plant that down in the soil. And I'm going to tie the stem to the bamboo, but not too tightly. Then I'm going to dig Another hole here. And I'm going to put my next beanstalk. Look at those roots, boys and girls. Can you see how long they are? I'm going to put them down into the soil and cover them. And again, I'm going to tie them to help support them. You can see some of them have grown very big. Dig another hole. In go the roots. I need to make that one a little bit bigger. And up it goes. And I'm using special garden wire to tie mine, but you can use string or twine, it doesn't matter. And this is my last bean. And that's the last one to be planted. Now, I'm going to water these in so that the roots can draw up the nutrients from the soil. And I think with these ones, I'm going to wait until they grow a bit bigger and all the leaves have started to unfurl, and then I'll do exactly the same. I'll plant them into a flower pot so they can grow and grow in the garden, and I'm going to make sure I keep an eye on them and I water them and make sure that the slugs and the snails decide to eat them before me. I need to put down some grit on the top of my flower pot. I've already mixed some with the soil, and then hopefully the snails and the slugs will find it hard to walk over the grit and they'll leave my beans alone. Well, boys and girls, I wonder if you've already planted your beans. Could you send us in some pictures of them just to let us know how they're growing? Maybe yours have flowers on them already. Please send them into the website. We look forward to seeing them. Take care and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.